Hi, my name is E or Eli. I am registered in the class as Sarah, so whichever one works for you. The purpose of this video is going to be to answer some questions on the disposition of learners. So going right into that, the first question is, what dispositions do you possess that you think will make you a successful teacher? Out of that, I chose respect for the diversity of others and curiosity. In regards to respect for diversity, diversity is something I have had a lot of firsthand experience in. Growing up, I grew up in a pretty religiously and belief system diverse household, so I had at least 2 different religions, and then I had non-religions, like atheists, I guess, stuff like that. And then growing up again, I had friends all across the class spectrum, so I've had a lot of experience with that. And then in my adulthood life, I spent a lot of time traveling, and which it was amazing. I spent most of my time traveling with foreigners. So I've been introduced to a lot of diversity in general. There's a lot of stuff I haven't really been introduced to yet, but I definitely believe in my ability to come head on to any new situation, any diverse situation, even if I don't understand it, and treat the person with respect. I'm a huge believer that every single individual deserves respect, regardless of whether you agree with their belief systems or not. So I don't think that's something I'll struggle with. The other thing is curiosity. To be curious is to constantly be looking for ways that you can better your classroom, finding new and fun ways to teach them whatever the lesson is. It's no fun when you go up into a classroom and you just lecture for 5 hours. I mean, no one's going to retain that unless you're super animated, I guess. But even that's a whole nother thing. If you have to do lectures, right? Maybe you want to be more animated. Maybe you want to turn it into a whole thing, whatever it is. But I don't think that's something I'll struggle with either. I personally, I like change. I am a very whimsical person. So I believe that with my own curiosity, I will constantly be looking for ways to change how I'm teaching, not only to better suit myself, but of course to better suit the students in which I am teaching. The next question is, what dispositions do I need to work on before I enter the classroom? All of them. I think I need to work on all of the dispositions because there's always room for improvement, right? I believe that there's definitely always room for improvement. But to answer the question and pick at least one that I definitely think I need to work on, it jumped right out to me. That would be dedication. Dedication is a disposition that I struggle with so hard. Very hard, especially in my adulthood life. I have been very, very, very whimsical. I guess you could say I'm very much doing what I want to do, going where I want to go. I never lived in a place longer than 6 months. When I was traveling, I was in a city for a week, and then we would go to the next city or the next state or wherever we were going. 1 week. That was it. And it was amazing. I loved it. I loved how rapidly things changed. I loved how quickly things were going. But with this career path, I know that it's not necessarily something that is going to be as whimsical as I'm used to, and I'm prepared for that. It's something I am actively working on as I speak, and it's something that can only get better. I know that dedication is something I owe to the students that I teach in the end, and to myself. You know, I'm going to dedicate myself to this career. It's going to provide myself stability. I want to be able to provide my students stability, all of that good stuff. So yeah, the last question is, what qualities should professional educators display? This one is a very tough question. I think there's tons and tons and tons of different qualities that a teacher should display, and a lot of them are listed in the dispositions, no doubt. But something that I think is extremely, extremely important for all educators, I mean everyone in general, but especially educators if you're going into this teaching field, is to be understanding. I believe, with my 0 experience in being a professional teacher, I believe that you are going to be met with a lot of diversity. And I think you're going to be met with a lot of diversity in not just like cultures and race and all that good stuff, but in attitudes, in behaviors, in everything, the way that they take in whatever you're giving to them. That's going to be that kind of diversity that a lot of times can set people off. You have a student who's in your classroom and is just, not paying attention, or they're just being problematic or whatever it is. You have to be understanding. You cannot take that personally. You have to be understanding, and, to be understanding is to understand that Sometimes people have bad days. Their situation is not the same as yours. Maybe they're going through something that you don't know, what they're going through. Whatever the case may be, I believe that it is your job as an educator, as a professional educator, it is 100% your job to be understanding of every situation. And if you aren't understanding of that situation, you have the means to educate yourself on the situation to become. And I think that goes into, I believe it was the ethics, the code of ethics, but if someone asks you to take on a role that you're not yet qualified for, you have the ability to go become qualified for that. You don't understand it. You have the ability to understand it. You just have to go and do it, right? Or understand that you're not qualified for it and let them know, I can't do that. So that's, to me, that's a quality that's extremely important. That, and of course, honesty. I think honesty is extremely important. As an educator, it's extremely important that you're honest with your students, that you're extremely honest with the people that you're working with, if something's going on, whatever the case may be, just to uphold the code of ethics and the dispositions and everything like that. You have to be honest. If something happened, a family member died, your dog died, or you're going through, maybe you just got diagnosed with something, whatever the case may be, and you know that you can't go to work and provide the students with good teaching towards the code of ethics that follows and reflects the code of ethics, then you need to be honest with your staff or with your boss or with whoever and let them know, I can't come in. This is what's going on, whatever the case may be. Um, yeah, I think that covers it. So thank you.